How are we all feeling today? Body's all right? Yeah? Usual jazz, all right, Tanya? Not too bad? Yeah? You did what a lot, yes? Ah, good. All right for some. Good, yeah. No ailments or injuries or anything new that I might need to know about? Or anything private you want to tell me outside or anything? That relates to yoga, of course. Or your practice? No? All right, that's good stuff. Have we got any questions at all? No, about our practice. This is a good time, right? At the beginning, we can quickly cover stuff. Of course, it's never quickly with Andy, is it? I tend to ramble a lot, but we can try. No? All right. So the usual kind of jazz supplies here, all right? It's your practice. It's your own personal journey. Do remember that. Turn that music down just a touch. Yeah, do remember that. You know, although, and we know already on a Monday, we encourage ourselves just to push a little bit further than we normally would. And that means normally just going a little bit outside the comfort zone, you know. It might be slightly quicker, or, you know, you might go slightly deeper into a position, or you might try something new, like a new transition that I'll introduce, or a new position as well. Or you might try to work with the mind and bring a little bit of stillness to that. Those crazy fluctuations of thought that goes mental, especially when we're in a position holding on. Oh, I've got to do this for dinner later. I've got to do, you know, all of that. That might be one of your greatest challenges as well. I know it is for many of us. So, you know, try and take yourself a little bit further, but at the same time, don't feel like you have to compete or keep up, or not with me or anyone else in the room or anything like that. I'm not an instructor. I'm a guide. I'm guiding you in your practice, all right? So I'm not telling you what you have to do, but rather just showing you a pathway, and you can choose to follow it. You can detour a little bit if you want. I'll try and give options for you to detour slightly, maybe a more challenging version of a position or a transition, or a slightly less challenging, if I remember, but I often forget as well. Otherwise I'd be forever chatting away, wouldn't I, about different variations. So sometimes I don't offer them, but it doesn't mean they're not there. So if you want to detour and do something, you know, or you, especially if you've got slightly more experience in your practice as well, and you think, oh, I normally like to do this or add that or whatever, you just go for it, it's fine. And if that thing is something that's got a performative or an aesthetic quality, that's okay, as long as it's not for that purpose that you do it. Try and not to be led too much by the ego, you know, or that inner child. It's fun to play and experiment, of course, but don't be completely led by it. Or if it's the other way and you feel like, no, I need to take this really gently, I want to have a little snooze, you can do that as well. All right? I think that's about it. Any questions now that I've got to this point? No? All good. All right. Well, we're seated, so we'll start seated. We can take an easy seat position. You know, we might have just cross legs or legs out in front, or you can take your half lotus or a full lotus if you wish. So sit nice and tall through the spine. Try to soften the arms, soften the legs. And as always at the beginning of our practice, just taking a moment to honestly observe the body, to arrive in the present moment. Bring our awareness to the vessel that carries us. In a very authentic way. So instead of that autopilot that we all do, we get up, we have breakfast, we go out and about. We don't stop to properly observe the body. As it is at that present time. So just taking a moment to arrive. And then we shift the awareness a little deeper to the breath. So deep inward breath in through the nose, expanding the tummy, expanding the rib cage. Let the heart space lift as we inhale. And then shrink as we exhale, that sinking downward embrace as we root down. Release all of the breath. Nice deep cycles of mindful breath. And with the next deep inward breath, taking the arms wide and high, reach up to the sky here. Search for that prayer position above the head. Connect the palms. Really lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, fold over the legs, slow and steady. It's not about how deep we get the head here. Just start to sink down. Feel that slight lengthening down the back, the lower lumbar. A little increase in demand for mobility at the hips and the knees here as well, that tension that we feel. Inward breath to rise slightly and walk the hands over towards the left side, that 10 o'clock position. Nice deep stretch down the right side of the rib cage, push into the right hip, and as we exhale, take a bow. Try to soften the arms here. As we inhale, coming back up, walking the arms over through the center, all the way to the right side. And it's an outward breath there as we bow over the right knee. Inward breath to breathe into the left side of the body, and an exhalation to soften and sink a little deeper. And beginning to rise on the next inhalation, walking the hands back to the center. We're going to push out and down through the tailbone, but at the same time, sink a little deeper. Bring the abdomen closer to the feet, to the ankles, to the legs. And as we begin to rise, we'll shrug the shoulders, tuck the chin, round off through the spine. The hands slide or walk back. We want to catch the knees in the palms. So sink backwards here. And then coming forwards with that inhalation, rolling the shoulders back, really open the heart space, lift the chin. Exhalation to sink down and back again. Inward breath, forwards, upwards, lifting. Broadening the heart space. Exhale one more time, down and back. And inhale, back to our neutral position. Bring the hands to heart center for this one. Reach up with the inward breath. This time with the outward breath, drop that left hand, lean to the left side. Keep the right arm nice and long. Look up from underneath. Try and pull the right shoulder back. We're stretching down the right side of the rib cage. Push into the right hip and expand. With the outward breath coming back up to the center. Inhalation to reach and stretch the spine. Exhalation to drop the other hand, lean to the right side. Look up from underneath that left arm. Breathe in and expand. And come back through the center. One more time, reaching. And this time a twist to the left side. Right hand behind or over the back of that left knee. Draw that left arm out and around towards the rear of the mat. Lean into the heel of the palm, but don't lean too far away. So as we lean into the heel of the palm, pop the chest as well. Pull the left shoulder back. Lengthen the spine. And as we exhale, twist a little deeper. We're using tension in that right hand to pull over the back of the left knee to help us twist a little deeper. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Stay fairly tall as we come back to the center. Connect the palms and inhale, reach up. Exhalation to the opposite side. Drop that left hand over the back of the right knee. Draw that right arm out and around. Then lean into the heel of the palm. Pop the chest. Exhale to twist a little deeper and look over the shoulder. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Gently coming back through the center, connect the palms to reach up one last time. And we'll bring the shoulders into play this time. Backs of the palms meet, hands dive down, tuck the chin, shrug the shoulders. to take that bind and interlace the fingers. Then roll the shoulders back, open the heart, lift the chin, sit slightly forwards here, and bring the hands away from the tailbone. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Bringing the hands back to the tailbone, then release it. And we want to release off at an angle here, a slight angle on either side, about 8 inches back past the hips. Fingertips can point forwards. Roll the shoulders back and lean back slightly here. Really broaden the heart space as we inhale. Drop the head back if the neck allows. And there's an option as well to almost push the hips forwards and upwards towards the sky. For 5, 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Begin to lower the tailbone down towards the earth. Start to shrug the shoulders, come forwards again, round off the spine, tuck the chin, a counter position. Catch those knees in the palms, sink downwards, backwards. Upavista Majariasana. And as we inhale, come forwards and upwards. Open the heart space, lift the chin. This time as we exhale and sink back, bring the hands back behind us. We want to release the legs out in front. We're going straight up into a reverse tabletop. So ground through the heels here and just take it slow and steady. Fingertips forwards, remember, never this way. We don't want to hyperextend the elbows. Or if the shoulders feel tight, point towards the outside of the mat with slightly wider hands. Slowly lift up. We don't have to go too high either too soon. Option to drop the head back. But again, it's early in the practice. It might feel unnecessary. Exhalation to float the tailbone down and back, straighten the legs. Try and bring the tailbone between the hands. Option to lift as well. Then lower. Arms go wide and high for the staff, Dandasana. So remember, we're pushing out through the tailbone, but try and bring the chest forward slightly here. It's easy to kind of collapse and round off and do this, especially if we've got tight shoulders. So try to sit nice until we imagine there's a rope attached to the crown, someone's pulling. And as we exhale, beginning to fold at the hips, Paschimottanasana. Feel that tension in the lower spine and the hamstrings. When you do, then take your bind and wave through the spine to lengthen again and rise slightly. Maybe a rock side to side as well on the sit bones to ease you a little deeper. And then as we exhale, we can fold a little deeper, sink down slightly. So just revisit with the breath here as we inhale, rising slightly, lengthening on the spine, through the spine, maybe even pulling on the legs as if we were trying to click the femurs into the pelvis, just to help us lengthen that lower lumbar region as well. And then as we exhale, sinking a little deeper. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Slowly begin to rise, sliding the hands back past the legs. We'll cross the feet and we'll go through a cross-legged position here to ground the palms. Head to your high plank, Phalakasana. So step the legs out behind. Push the earth away. We're reminding ourselves to tuck the tailbone slightly here as well to activate the core. And as we push the earth away, round off slightly the upper back. Then we'll drop knees, chest, chin or forehead, Chaturanga Dandasana. Slow, steady descent to the earth. Pull the shoulders back. Don't really push with the hands, just a baby cobra. Look forwards, inhale. Exhale to sink down. Now we'll push a touch, go a bit higher, pull those shoulders back, lift the chin, keep the hips down and release. This time tucking the toes, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog, wave through the body up. This time we lift the hips and the chin. Then slide the weight back across the knees through Bharumanasana. Remember to slide the hands back as well, then round off the spine, tuck the tailbone and chin for Majariasana. As we inhale, drop the belly and spine, lift up and out through the tailbone and the crown. Exhale to round off. Inhale to drop the spine. And exhale to round off. Let's come back to that neutral position. Walk the hands about 6 inches forwards and prepare to rise in our downward facing dog, So tuck the toes, lift the knees, slide the weight backwards and upwards. Let the heels be heavy and push towards the earth. For 5, for 4, for 3. Push into the fingertips as well. Push the front of the mat away for 2. And for 1. Let's take a walk slowly, steadily towards the front of the mat. Let the hips wiggle from side to side as we do so. And we'll arrive together. A halfway lift, flatten the back here. Fingertips can be on the earth or hands to the shins. But whatever facilitates us flattening the spine, pushing out through the tailbone, lengthening all the way out through the crown of the head as well. Exhalation, Uttanasana, the fold. Release the breath here. We're bringing abdomen in towards the thighs. And then slowly as we release the tension, slide or walk the hands up the legs as we rise. A steady uncoiling of the spine. Arms go wide and high, reach up. Big deep breath to expand and lift. Long arms and a straight back as we fold forwards. Return to Uttanasana. Take a nice steady bow. Inhalation, Ardha Uttanasana, flatten the back, peek forwards. Exhalation, ground the palms, step the right leg back, drop the right knee, untuck the toes. Anjaneyasana, stay low on the fingertips. As we lift the chin, inward breath. And outward breath, a soft Ardha Hanumanasana, something we've been doing a lot lately. Just taking this precursor for a deeper one. Inhale to shift the weight forwards again. Sweep the arms up towards the sky. Rise and reach in your low lunge. We can have hands at shoulder width if the shoulders feel particularly tight. And there's an option, of course, as well, to look forwards with the chin slightly elevated, nice long spine, or drop the head back if the neck allows. And we gaze towards the heavens with the third eye, the Ajna Chakra as well. Yeah. Inhale to reach. Exhale, release the hands, frame the foot, rock back. Ardha Hanumanasana, slightly deeper this time. Inward breath to straighten the leg and the back. Exhale to fold and walk those hands away as we sink right down over that leg. And remember, we're not folding over the leg. Instead, we're trying to honour those parallel lines in the body, the shoulders, the hips. So keep the ankle close to the left arm. And try to fold down slightly inside the leg. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Shift the weight forwards. Frame the foot, tuck the toe, lift the knee. Option to keep that left foot off as we go into our Chaturanga Dandasana. So it will be our one-footed Ekapada Chaturanga Dandasana. But try and do it on the descent. And he'll show you. So as the foot goes back underneath the body, we start to lower and push out through the heel at the same time. Then release the foot wave through the body up. And back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. I'm going to take some movement here as well. Any tension that's building in the hips, the lower back. It's a nice way just to help ease it off as we walk on the spot. So wiggle tailbone left to right, right to left. I'm going to take a bend in one knee at a time as we do that as well. Then slowly walk to the front, same as we did before. Arrive in that halfway lift. And fold. Uttanasana. Slowly round off and rise to uncoil. Arms go wide and high for a big deep breath as we reach up towards the sky. And with the long arms folding back down, push out through the tailbone, nice long spine as well. Halfway lift once more, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhalation to ground the palms and step the left foot back this time. Drop that left knee, untuck the toes. Stay low, fingertips on the earth here. As we straighten the spine, lift the chin, inhalation. Exhalation to slowly slide the weight down and backwards, a soft Ardha Hanumanasana. You might find if the hamstrings are very, very tight, you have to come up higher. You can't stay that low. The body doesn't give it to you. That's fine as well. Sometimes you can shift off to one side and sort of work your way around towards straightening that front leg. And remember, the goal isn't a straight leg. There's never, some people don't have that available in the joint. It's just working towards a straight leg so that we get that true lengthening of the hamstring, right? Or you might find blocks are helpful, but try to avoid sitting back. Sitting back makes it more accessible, it makes it more available, it's easier to straighten the leg and get that to stretch, but then we put strain on the knee and on the ankle, on the metatarsals, those little bones in the foot as well, unnecessarily. So try and keep the joints stacked, all right? Let's shift the weight forwards again, we'll rise and reach this time, sweep the arms up to the sky. Take your option here, you might have shoulder width, you might enjoy Kali Mudra. Nice energy still there in the hands. For 3. For 2. And for 1, inhale, reach higher, push into the right heel. Exhalation, release the hands, frame the foot, rock the weight back. A deeper half split this time. So rise on the inward breath, push out through the tailbone, straighten that leg if it's available. Then exhale, fold nice and deep, walk the hands away. You almost lead with the heart space when you fold over like this. For 5. For 4, see if the quads on the right leg can soften here. So if Andy came around and started wiggling the kneecap, it'd move up and down. For 3. For 2, we don't want to fight against that stretch. For 1. Shift the weight forwards to frame that foot. Tuck the toe, lift the knee. Same as before, the options are yours. You can just step back to a high plank and lower to Chaturanga, or as you push the earth away, slide that foot underneath the body, push out through the heel and lower at the same time, then release the foot, wave through the body, up, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. This time we'll send the right foot to the sky for Tripada Mukha Svanasana. Really push out through the toes of that right foot and the fingertips of the hands as well. We're pushing the front of the mat away. Try and let the left heel be heavy before stepping under. Warrior 1 on the right. Replace the right hand with that foot. Make sure you step off the line slightly. Drop the rear heel to 45 degrees. Arms sweep up on the inward breath. Exhale to sink down. And again, you might find connecting the hands a little bit too much to ask of the shoulders. If you do that, if the elbows bend and you start to round off through the shoulder blades and the chin tucks, that's tight shoulders for you. So bring the hands to shoulder width. And it might feel a little bit more accessible. You can reach and lengthen. For 3. For 2. And for 1, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring the hands down inside the right foot. Come onto the ball of the rear foot. Release the breath and bow. Then inhale, straighten the spine, look forwards. A heavy groin here with a straight rear leg. If it's too much, drop the knee. Take it softly. Uttam Prishthasana. Look forwards. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Reaching with that right hand towards the sky. Parivrata Ashvasanchalanasana. There's a revolved runner's lunge there with the left hand on the ground, or the opposite hand and foot on the ground at the front there. For 3. Remember to breathe. For 2. And for 1. Reach a touch higher with that right hand. As we exhale, bringing it down towards the earth, we start to pivot on the heel of the front foot towards the left side of the mat, and on the ball of that rear foot, or on the toes of the rear foot, try and shorten your stance slightly to come onto the ball of the front foot in a softer Skandasana. Hands can come to heart center, or we can support the weight here out towards the right side. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And for 1, twist and turn back towards the front. Drop the knee this time and head towards Anjaneyasana, rise and reach our low lunge. Try and keep that right ankle below the right knee. For 3. For 2. And for 1, inhale to reach, exhale to frame the front foot And we tuck the toe, lift the knee, but we're rocking back across that right heel. Or rock back to step forwards. So rock back and step forwards to the halfway lift, flatten the back. Exhalation, fold, Uttanasana. Inhalation, rise to the top. Any way that feels authentic for the body. Arms go wide and high to reach up. Exhale to draw the hands wide down towards the earth. Go to high plank then low, or bounce to your chaturanga if that feels right for the body. Wave up to your upward face. And then back to your downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a little bit of movement on the spot here. That little wiggle side to side. Remember the breath. And then as we come back to stillness, ground. Feel that right foot, left foot moves to the sky. Tripada Adho Mukha Svanasana. For 5. For 4. For 3. Push the front of the mat away. For 2. And for 1. Stepping under the body, Virabhadrasana, warrior 1 on the left side. Replace the left hand, drop that right heel to about 45 and reach the arms towards the sky. As we exhale, sink down into that front leg. Remember, we're kind of pulling that right hip forwards, the right shoulder, so we face the front. We're rising through the ground, just like Virabhadra with his swords as we pierce the earth. But we're surrendering, we're rooting that lower part of the body as we rise to the occasion and reach. Gaze towards the heavens, towards the sky. An acknowledgement of our task as well, our duty. We rise into action. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Inhale to reach and rise a touch. Exhalation, long arms as we bring them down inside the left foot. Come onto the ball of the rear foot. Remember to release the breath and bow here. Then inhale, lengthen the spine, look forwards. Uttam Prishtasana. For 5. Remember to sink that groin. Maybe if it feels too much or too early in the practice, you can always bring that rear knee down and just soften, just shift the weight back slightly and it'll be less intense. There are options as well. If it feels very available, you can always take a bow, sink down, nice long arms. But you have to shift the weight over towards left slightly when you do that. So it's up to you to experiment, but don't injure yourself or anyone else. We'll push into that, the heel of the right hand as we sweep left arm towards the sky. A revolution in the runner's lunge, and we're almost pushing out through that rear heel as well, so kind of slide the weight backwards a touch, but let the groin sink down as well at the same time. Don't forget to push the earth away. It's easy to let that right shoulder collapse. You almost slouch into the right shoulder. We don't want to do that. As we exhale and the left hand descends, same as before, we start to twist and turn and pivot around onto our side, especially on the heel of that front foot, but try to narrow the stance slightly as well as we come down onto the ball of the foot for Skandasana on the opposite side. And it's okay to support the weight. If your Skanda looks like this, you're up here somewhere, the front leg's just not letting you straighten it, that's okay, remember. Keep that internal dialogue nice and healthy. Find what's available. Don't worry as well if we fall over. I've seen lots of variations of Skanda. So just find your version. It's discovery, isn't it? And then beginning to twist and turn back towards the front. Frame that front foot. Drop the rear knee, untuck the toes. Try and line up that knee, that front knee with the front ankle as we sweep the arms up towards the sky. Anjaneyasana. For 5. For 4. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Push into the left heel, rise slightly. Exhalation to release the hands. Frame the foot, tuck the toe, lift the rear knee. Rock back on that front heel to step forwards and flatten the back. This time, however, it's Utkatasana, the fierce pose or the chair pose. So bend the knees as we exhale and scoop those arms up towards the sky. Take a seat for 5. 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Rising to the top. Hips go in front of the ankles, a slight back bend. Exhalation to straighten up. Release the hands. Head to your Chaturanga Dandasana or your high plank, then your low plank when you're ready. Wave through the body. And backwards to your downward facing dog. We'll immediately step the right foot forwards under the body for warrior 2 this time. Virabhadrasana, drop the rear heel to 90, windmill the left arm up and around. It's a nice way to rise on the inward breath and then find our alignment on the way down as we exhale. So contrary to the warrior 1, we know we open out to the side this time. Our drishti, our focal point for our gaze, is the middle finger of the right hand. But we know we're not really focusing on that. We look beyond using the periphery as the awareness deepens. Inhalation to straighten the front leg. Trikonasana, reach for the triangle. You can use a block inside the leg here or hover above the ground, or if the hamstring gives it to you, then come all the way down to the earth, inside or even outside that front leg. But try not to let the upper shoulder collapse here as well, or internally rotate with the arm. We don't want any of this business. We want to really lengthen and open the heart space out towards the side. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Inhale to reach. Exhale to bring that left hand down towards the ground. Adjust the right hand around to the outside of the foot. Come on to either the ball of the rear foot if it makes it more available, or just adjust the rear foot to about 45 for our Paschimottanasana, pyramid. So flatten the back, look forwards, inward breath, push out through the tailbone. Try to keep that front leg as straight as is available as we exhale and fold over it. So you might find as well, if it feels quite intense, you can narrow the stance, you can lean below the knee or above the knee, but try not to lock that knee joint. Or you can even rest on blocks as well. Those of us that can go a little bit deeper with the position, we want to try and soften again that leg, that front leg. We're not locking the joint carelessly, but we're softening enough for the quads to relax so that we're not resisting that stretch either. As we begin to rise, we slide those hands at the front back to meet the front heel, the heel of the right foot. Come onto the ball of the rear foot. Push the earth away. You really have to lengthen through the arms here and then slide that right foot up towards the sky for Tripada Mukha Svanasana. But we don't stay. We bring a bend to the right leg and the leg underneath the body out towards the left for a fallen star. Drop that rear heel, lean into the right hand and reach the left arm to the sky for 5. For 4, remember we can have this right foot on the ground. We can even take it seated for 3. Just keep that rear foot nice and sturdy. Push the blade of the foot into the ground for 2. And for 1, Vashisthasana on the opposite side, side plank. Drop the left hand, twist and turn on that left foot. Option to lift through the right foot and lift that right hip to the sky. Or even to take it softly and bring the left knee to the ground in a supported side plank. And we'll stay here for 10 minutes now. Hey. You keep laughing, I'll keep telling them. For 2. And for 1, releasing that right hand to the ground, then all together towards our high plank. And lowering the hips first, slide the weight forwards, tuck the chin as we bring the knees and the hips down, then start to lift the chin on the way down. We'll reverse that action, so tuck the toes away through the body, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing. Let's move that left foot forwards this time. Warrior 2 on the left. Virabhadra, drop that right heel, windmill the arm. Up and around, big deep inhalation and exhalation as we sink down. And we're finding our alignment again, aren't we? So as we sink down, normally that's a nice time to feel your way into the position. Make sure the knee doesn't drop in. Be aware of where that rear arm is. It's very easy to do this with the rear arm. It feels like it's up here, you know? Or sometimes it is up there when it feels like it's, yeah. I've got to check now. 4, 3. The drishti again is the middle finger. 4, 2. And for 1. We head towards our triangle. So inhale, straighten the leg, then reach forwards as we sweep that left hand down towards the ground. Right arm to the sky. Try and pull the right shoulder back here again. Those of us that have got slightly deeper access to this position, we can try and soften that left leg as well. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And for 1, inhale to reach a touch higher. Push the earth away with the left hand. Exhalation, right hand comes down towards the ground. We adjust left hand around towards the outside of the left foot and adjust that rear foot as well. Again, maybe the ball of the foot makes it a little bit more accessible to you, or a 45-degree angle. Flatten the back on the inward breath and rise. Exhalation to sink down and fold over that leg for Parsvottanasana. And again, those of us whose bodies allow us to go a little bit deeper, we can try and soften that left leg, get a nice deep stretch on the hamstrings here. And for those of us that don't quite have it accessible, just come up higher, maybe even rest on the thigh, work towards a straighter leg, but definitely don't lock the joint. And try not to lean on the joint either. It's tempting to want to lean on the knee actually, but again, we're at risk of hyperextension now. So just try and straighten the leg, work towards a straighter leg and then lean there, or maybe even on blocks or something like that. And the hands sliding back towards that front foot. So we line all those 3 heels up at the front. We'll all come onto the ball of the rear foot all together. And then as we push the earth away, we want to drag that leg underneath the body towards the sky for our Tripada Mukha Svanasana. 4, 3. For 2. And for 1, it's a bend in the left leg this time, bringing it under the body. Remember to shift the weight into the left hand, drop that rear heel for our fallen triangle as the left leg comes under the body out to the right side. That's it, or fallen star, I've heard this one called as well. For 3. For 2. And for 1, twist and turn, bring that left leg under the body, right hand comes to the ground. We turn on the right foot and then start to extend. Left foot up towards the sky, left hand towards the sky, Vashisthasana. Vasishtha was one of the sages, the great sages of the old times we hear about in yogic philosophy and in Hinduism. And he must have dabbled with this position a lot. Let's release that left hand, come back to a high plank for Lakasana. And lower the hips first, same as before. So slide the weight forwards, bring the hips down to the ground, then wave the body down. Of course, only to wave back up, so tuck the toes, lift knees, hips, and then wave up. And back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. There's our opportunity for our little bounce forwards here. And we can go straight to the chair, or maybe you might want to take a little crow or a crane at the front when you arrive before the chair. It's entirely up to you. So look to between the palms, take that bounce, that float forwards into your Pakasana or your Bakasana. And then all together, grounding through the soles of the feet and sweeping the arms up. Utkatasana, the chair. For 5. For 4. 3, for 2, and for 1. Rise to the top, hips slightly forwards. Same as before, that gentle back bend. And then straighten up on the outward breath, hands to heart center. Just bring the awareness to deep cycles of breath now. Samastiti. Soften the shoulders, soften the legs. Keep the spine tall. Really root down through the feet, through the heels and the balls of the feet. Just a few deep cycles of breath here. In through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. On the next exhalation, releasing the hands down by the side. And as we inhale, taking the arms wide and high to reach up, connect the palms above the head. Outward breath, long arms, long spine as we fold forwards, Uttanasana, slow and steady. Inhalation, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhalation, bend the knees, scoot back to your chair, your Utkatasana. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Start that slow transition as we start to lower almost towards a T shape. So we push out through the tailbone, but reach out through the arms, bring the abdomen, the breast closer to the thighs. It's just a preparation for a descent into a seated position into our boat Navasana. So slowly bring the tailbone down and then sit tall as the feet come up to meet the arms. And we know already we can ground through the hands and we can bring our forearms down as well if it feels a little too much. It's no less yoga if you take a slightly less challenging version of a position, don't worry. I won't mark you down for it. For 3, for 2, and for 1. I have around the backs of the knees if that feels more accessible. Or with me, Upaya Padangusthasana, taking both big toes as we start to extend the feet towards the sky. And remember, we want to work to bring in the torso and the thighs, the legs closer together, as opposed to the head closer to the legs. As tempting as it is to kind of dip the head forwards. Don't worry if you rock over as well. You end up on your back, just try not to bang your head, please. If you're okay. You okay over there? Okay, good. For 5, it's normal, these things happen, right? For 3, for 2, and for 1. We'll take a leaf out of your book anyway. All together, try to collapse the spine, so slowly round off the spine. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. Be very mindful of the back of the head when you go back here. Only do this if you're confident that you can control the descent. We want to slowly round off and let the legs and the feet go over the head. For our halasana, if plow feels like it's too much, then you can take half plow, ardha halasana, by pushing the feet up towards the sky. Hands can come down past the hips. And again, work towards a straighter leg here. Push out through the heels, nice active legs, but a soft spine. So we relax and surrender the upper body, but we activate the lower body. If we're in the plow, make sure we don't turn the head left or right here. It's not great for the neck. And start to work the tailbone until it's over the head. So we almost completely invert. We have mula above the Agnya chakra and the Sahasrara. Sometimes if we find that we're here somewhere, the toes or the feet don't touch the ground, it's a little bit better to support the rib cage with the arms, with the hands. So hold around the rib cage, but push the elbows into the ground or the upper back of the arm. So again, just discovering what's available for us and for our body at this moment. Wherever we are, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Slowly beginning to roll through the spine now, slow descent, but allow a bend in the knees. And as we rock forwards, let the head and shoulders lift. Don't fight against that need to kind of lift with the rest of the body. Then as we release soles of the feet down to the ground, keep the knees up for Setubandha Sharanga, so the bridge position. We want to push the hips up towards the sky. Option to externally rotate the arms, let the palms face up. It kind of helps broaden the heart space. Keep the chin fairly tucked in towards the chest. So we're not locking, but we're closing off at Vishuddhi for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. On the outward breath, lowering the hips down to the earth. We can widen the arms here, drop the legs side to side, left to right, right to left. Just release any residual tension there from the lower back, the hips. And then as we come back to stillness, we have a few options here. Take any movement that feels appropriate for the body. Maybe Ananda Balasana, the happy baby. You can bind the backs of the knees or even take the blades of the feet. But remember, you want to widen the knees, widen the thighs, and almost pull down at the same time so that we kind of stretch open the pelvis, the groin there, but with a long flat back. We want to keep the spine fairly relaxed whilst we do so. Sometimes a little bit of movement or rock side to side helps to facilitate that. Or perhaps soles of the feet can come together, heels close to the tailbone, and we tuck the pelvis here to bring the lower back a little closer to the earth. Then let everything go nice and floppy. Let gravity do the work to open the hips. That's another way to open now. Or maybe the body's ready already to go into that final position, the shav, the corpse pose, shavasana. So we extend the arms and legs. I think it'll be length and width of the mat. Use up the room on the mat there, or maybe even go beyond and really stretch out. It might feel nice to be very open. And this is our time to actually free ourselves of effort. So I don't feel like we need to do anything here. Normally the body guides us anyway. As we start to sink into stillness and dissolve into the slightly uncomfortable hard ground, through that numbness, that numbing sensation almost. That's when we notice that softening of the tether between the awareness and the physical body, the moving body, which of course is now in stillness. And we need to follow suit with the awareness in the mind as well. As the mind dances around, we see those little flickers of coloured light in the darkness. As it jumps from one thought process to the next, just quietly observe, without judgment, without context. And in time, the mind slowly drifts into a kind of daydream as that tether starts to soften as well. And as we very gently, not through apathy or through conflict, but we very gently detach from all of those little stimuli, both internally and externally. have much more time, but in true Andy fashion, we've outstayed our welcome. So let's all together release the breath, take an exhalation and inhalation for 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 4, 3, 2, 1, and in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 4, 3, 2, and 1. In your own time, in your own way, discover gentle movement in the body. Slowly rouse and awaken and begin your journey towards your seated position when you're ready. And we'll breathe and lengthen together one last time as we take the arms wide and high, reach up. Connect the palms above the head. Begin with breath. And as we exhale, bringing the thumbs down to third eye for the Mahamrityunjaya. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshyamamritat. Let's bring the hands to heart center and bow to peace within. Om Shanti.